So as you can see, this has all been burnt. The bushfire came through here roughly a year ago. You can see all these little pine trees that have died. We're in here sort of chasing these. This area doesn't have any, but it's been burnt very badly. We probably won't be cutting through here just because it's not worth getting the trees down. I spotted one here. So these are what we're after in this block. We're trying to get them before they've dried out. This one's still in pretty good nick. Some of them, the barks have just fallen off. But we got our grass coming back. Most of our gum trees here have all survived, so there's even a pine tree there that's still alive just. So yeah, this is a reclamation job out here. It's sort of patchy. This is a burnt patch. We'll come across a green patch, then another burnt patch, and then another green patch. So we just got to grab what we can get. Try and make the most of these trees that are dying out here. This is where I've been cutting previously. Just give you a bit of well, fuck it, if my words want to work. Give you a bit of an example of what it looks like when we've finished with an area, when we've been over it and got all the trees out. As you can see, we've still got to pick up some of the logs. But if you look through there, there's probably about 12 or 14 rows going parallel to this track. We'll walk through and we'll come across the first one here in a second. So this is where we've come through the first time and gone up that way, turn around, come back. This is our second track, and then you just reach out into your gaps. That next one's a fair way over because this area is pretty thin. And you peel your trees onto the tracks and the forwarder will come, or the skidder will come and drag them onto the road for the forwarder. But these roads just keep going that way and that way and that way, and so much is left behind you can barely tell. It's really nice to come back later and see all the nice shoots coming up. It's a bit rough now seeing all these broken trees, but they'll all come back. More light for these big gum trees like this. Have a chance to start growing in between all the crap. Those are some ripper gum trees, those ones, nice habitat trees. See the hollows up there, so got to protect those ones. Another nice one here. The old bushfire doesn't hurt these ones. This area wasn't burnt that bad. Fell in a hole. There's only slight charring on the bottom of the tree, so it must have just came through here fairly quickly and not burnt much, but you can tell because the pine trees are still living. Now my phone says it's 1 degrees right now, so it's too cold for greasing first thing in the morning. Like fuck. So I do it in the afternoon. It's always good to have a nice little look over. It's freshly greased from Friday afternoon, so a little bit of oil coming from in there somewhere, so I have to keep an eye on that, make sure it doesn't get worse. We're that far away from town that there's a degree of how much it can leak before it gets replaced, so as long as it's not dumping litres, we're pretty good. Next thing to check, make sure it's got oil in the engine, because that's important. Let you come in here, turn your isolator switch, and hit your switch for your door. I only need to go a little way. There's one for the front, one for the back door. Come along the side here. Yeah, we need a little bit to get your arm in there. Well, it's got oil in it, so that's the main thing. I know you're supposed to wipe it off and dip it again, but I mean, this thing, I've been driving it for a year, it's never needed a top up. It just gets done as it gets serviced. Hydraulic oil. Where are we looking? Oh yeah, just above the bottom line, so that will work, because as it starts running it'll expand, be right up near that top line. Shut this. Oh man, it's so cold. Can't feel my fingers properly. These, hang on, I need 2 hands for this. Alright, there's that. I like to give it a little, just to pull up on those clips, or else it comes undone. There we go. Unlock the door. You know, stop the kangaroos breaking in at night. And first things first, key in, if I can get it in. Wait for it to do a few beeps. Oh, yeah, she's definitely cold. That took a few more times to turn over than it usually does. Unbutton there. And now, we basically hurry up and wait. Because there's not much to do until the machine warms herself up. She won't let me do anything until she hits about 20 degrees for the oil temp. That's why I usually do my grease in the morning. Let's get this bloody heater going too. It basically is going 23. Yeah, somewhere around there. Should heat it up in here soon. This thing's pretty good, it doesn't take long to warm up. Alright, that's ready to go. Once our temperature gets above, you know, well, when that goes from yellow to green, essentially. Until then it's in bloody limp mode, essentially. Won't even let me use the saw until it gets to about 15, I think, and then it's just gutless. But yeah, I'm just going to have a smoke and wait for it to warm up. Then we'll get into it. So I've just come across, you can barely see it, but there's the start of a little gully there. If I get my book with all my rules in it, where the hell are we? It'll tell me under our watercourse protection or classification. Here's our chart. It's a tiny little U-shaped gully, I think. So that so it's 10 meters. Plus 2 meters for a buffer. So we've got 12 meters. Plus any more for slump, but that doesn't. We'll just give it a meter extra for that and we'll be right. So I'll just get me paint. Go for a bit of a walk. Alright, we're in. This is the start of the gully. This is probably the least you consider classifying as a gully, and you can see my road just there. I didn't even spot it. So we're starting to get a bit of a defining bank here. Get going up. Starting to look like a proper gully now. Got some banks, so for every foot it comes down we got to give a meter. Unless it slopes, so you look here, you got about a foot and then it slopes, so you've only got to add a meter for that. And this is the end of it. This is our head scarp. This is where the water's running in. So there's a couple of feet there. All that really means is that these trees are around the end of it here. We'll leave them there. Put a mark on them. Run out of paint, put the wrong can. So we know that that tree's there and its roots are holding that headscarp together to an extent. I think that's the only one there worth cutting. So other than that, since I got no paint, I can easily just eyeball it and go out there somewhere because there's no trees in here. I'll just give it plenty of distance. I'm probably pretty good at picking 10 meters by, but we've also got to get the other side of this gully. So I think we need to cross over here first and run up this side. Now we're allowed to do crossings across these, only in certain areas. They've got to be 50 meters apart. So if I take a hard turn there, come straight through the gully here, give it 10 meters up this side, 12 meters, collect these couple of trees, and then as I come back I'll come up the other side. So even though it doesn't look like much, there's got to be consideration made. Because when water does come through here, it will come through this exact spot here. If we affect the water flow too much, you never know what can happen. You create rivers down tracks and all sorts of dramas. So, I got out before, I didn't get the camera, and tightened this up, and it's sort of holding, but if you look in there, there's a big gap on that side. If we come in underneath here, well, that angle kind of says it all. There's obviously something kind of bent there, and I've just tightened that as tight as it will go, and it's not holding onto the hose. So I mean, I can try and tighten it more, but clearly it's not going to achieve anything. So I've got my camera upside down now. I'm going to have to take this hose off from here, and that fitting out from this box. I'll have to get a replacement fitting, and I also have to make sure that the inside of this hose isn't fucked, because if it is, we'll have to take the hose into town too. Anyway, that's basically the end of the Monday for me. There's not much I can do, except obviously get that replaced, because it's not holding oil. That also means that this machine's staying here. I get to go for a nice little bushwalk, so we'll fucking sort that out then, I suppose. Got the machine all locked up, got my hose ready to go. Leave that for tomorrow.